Okay. I guess my phone looks a lot better. Hey guys. Hey YouTube. It's Detroit Alley Cat. Here I am. It's me. Let's get comfy. Should I get closer? Should we get closer? Watch everything fall. No, I think we're good. This is good. No, that's not good. Here we go. Getting closer. It takes everybody a little bit of time to log on, so this is good. Okay, I feel better. Okay, so hey, this is Detroit Alley Cat, and you are on the Witches Brew podcast. And like I said, I am actually going to try to start live streaming 3 days a week, which makes me a little nervous, but we'll get through it. I don't know what days I'm going to do regularly. I'm going to try to pick 3 days that I do it every single time. And then I'm going to try to cover a true crime or paranormal case where it's an actual film. So, or not a film, like a document, you know, like a video that you edit. But right now we're on a podcast. So like I don't have to edit, which works out for me because I'm not monetized, and I think that it's better for me to just like come on here and talk about stuff. So let's talk about our subject of the evening. Tonight we're going to talk about Jim Jones. For those of you who don't know what Jim Jones is, it is a leader of a cult that ran around the 1970s to the 1980s. I think even before then. I will say that some of the things that we are going to talk about are pretty dark. So, like, if you're triggered about suicide or, like, abuse or anything really true crimey, this probably is not your podcast. Starting out really good and strong. It's just me, myself, and me right now, but I know some people will hop on. So let's talk about Jim Jones and who he was. Jim Jones, he was born May 13, 1931. He was born in Crete, Indiana. He went to the Indiana University of Butler, so he did have some college behind him. It says that he had no children, which is not true. He had like a whole bunch of children. He had like, I don't even know. He used to call them his rainbow family. He had actual birth children and he had adopted children. And something that Jim Jones was very like famous for was that he liked to adopt children of different nationalities, different ethnicities. My husky is just running around in a circle around me, and he's going to continue doing this until he gets on my bed. So we're going to let Smokey get on my bed. Come on, Smokey. Okay. All right. Okay. So we've got all these wires, and I've got my husky. All right. You good? You good? Go ahead. Do it. Go on. Don't be afraid. You can do it. Just jump on the bed. Go on. Okay, guys. I'm so sorry, but I got to shoo him out of here because he's going to knock something up. Okay, there. He went. Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. So, yeah, going back to Jim Jones. Let's talk about some stuff that he did that was kind of like, let's talk about what, like, the whole thing. So Jim Jones was like really into being like a pastor when he was young. He felt a calling. He wanted to preach to people. And see, he opened up a church called the People's Church, and it ended up being in California for a while. I'm going to mention some of the good things that Jim Jones did because I think that that's important. So Jim Jones, he actually took the community at that time. It was a very racially divided community, and he opened up a church that was completely diverse. He wanted everyone of all ethnicities to come. And the big one that, like, you know, was important at that time was that he was known for having black and white people come to the church together. And that kind of was a big deal because at that time they had that situation, the racial divide. And I know everybody thinks that like there's like a lot of racial divide right now and all these things happening, but they were a lot more hardcore, or at least I think in the 1970s. And so Jim Jones was known for putting everyone together and not having that kind of thing happen. And we're talking about a time where like in the 1970s there were like white churches and black people were not allowed to come into a white church. And so to have a church that opened their doors to everyone was kind of a big deal, and it was a really good thing. And then something else that Jim Jones was known for was he opened up, I don't want to say nursing homes, but opened up homes for the elderly, and he took care of them. And yeah, he did a lot of great things for the elderly community. Like he incorporated it into his church, and like these were the good things that Jim Jones did. And one day I'm going to talk about the controversy of taking something that the public views as a huge topic and using it to manipulate everybody, because I think that's very relevant for today. But that's another topic for another day. I mean, today, like as in today's times. Let's see who's all on here. Hi, bro. Okay. Hi, bro. All right. So, has anybody ever heard of Jim Jones? I know I get a lot of like younger people on here, and if you haven't, don't feel stupid. But anyway, so Jim Jones, he started this like people's church. It was pretty big, like had at one time 3 or 4,000 people, and they were doing really good. And then for some reason, they attracted some negative attention. Now, Jim Jones was really known for socialism. He says it was socialism, but I really think it was communism. And you know, for the longest time, I did not pay attention to what the difference between socialism and communism is. I just thought they were both really bad, personally. But basically, Jim Jones would have all of his people, his members, and his group. They would give him all of their assets, all of the money. They would work for him for free, and he would divvy it up amongst everybody fairly. Now, this is an opinion of mine. I think that when you ever have socialism, which is just like the milder version of communism, who's ever in control, because there has to be somebody in control of that, it ends up bad, really bad. And like a really good example of this is like North Korea, the Stalin era. I just think that it's bad. I mean, you guys can have your own opinion. I've seen that it's been very popular to talk about how socialism would be good, but I think it would be bad. I really do. But that's not what we're going to talk about either. So, Jim Jones goes to Guyana, and he takes his congregation to Guyana. Guyana was doing like these programs for people to come there and farm the land and start communities. And the reason for that is because Guyana was like a really hard place to farm. And so they were offering these programs, and Jim Jones thought it was a great opportunity for his club to go set up shop. So he sets up shop. He's got like an entire town. They call it Jonestown, right? So they're there for a couple years, and at first it's great, but then they start getting these like they have all these people, and the thing that like I feel started making things bad for a lot of things were bad in Jonestown, but the thing that really like was a red flag for Jonestown is like the members were not speaking to their family members that were back in America. And that really upset a lot of people here in America. So they contacted a congressman. A congressman went down there with a group of people. There's a video of it. They went down there and they talked to Jim Jones. At this time, Jim Jones is doing what every cult does. He's doing drugs. He's got like 4 wives. There's all kinds of crazy stuff happening. And he's not letting anybody leave. But the congressman is like, you know what? Does anybody want to leave? And somebody slips the congressman a note, and I'm whipping through this pretty quick because we're gonna get to the topic that I want to talk about. So they they get the note. They decide that they're gonna take some of the people from Jonestown away, and basically what happens is Jim Jones orders some of his inner circle. I'm so sorry that my phone keeps beeping, but I run a company and they are communicating and sending messages on a board. Just try to ignore it. And so, and I'll figure out how to make that never happen again. So he sends his inner, back to the story. He sends some of his inner circle to go ahead and, you know, do away with the congressman and his members who wanted to leave, who he feels betrayed him. And it was pretty awful because they had firearms. And of course, you know, some people died, and that was a big deal. And then when the guy that went there and did away with the congressman and the other members that he felt betrayed him, he came back and told them. And Jim Jones basically told his whole group of people that we have to commit revolutionary suicide. I can't say that word on YouTube because YouTube will not just demonetize me, which I'm not, but it will also not let me play this. So I have to call it something weird. So, at this point, Jim Jones has been training his congregation to like trust him without question, and they've been doing something called White Night, which I find very strange because he's really into all this racial diversity, but he's doing this weird White Night thing, which, I mean, in the 1970s, if you want to think about it, White Night really does sound like the KKK. I don't think it had anything to do with it, but I just thought that was strange. Anybody still on here with me? They were like, Jonestown, I'm out of here. I'll keep going. It's just me, myself, and me. So he gets his like minions that are his like inner circle to make some flavor aid. They put some arsenic in it. They divvy it out. 960 some people end up perishing that day. It's a huge deal. Now, let's talk about the topic that I want to bring up. The interesting thing about Jim Jones is that he would record his sermons or, you know, his church services. So Jim Jones recorded every single one, but he recorded his last one, which is called the death tape. It's like a 45-minute tape. And I just want to discuss it because it's crazy. Now, you could go ahead and find it on YouTube. You know what? I think would be really cool if I went ahead and found it and played some of it. See, I can't like add it on here for you, but I can definitely play it through my tablet for you. The reason that I want to talk to you about the death tape is because I just listened to it a lot. I thought it was interesting. I was very intrigued by cults. Like, how does it happen? How does this, like, how do members follow somebody to Guyana, especially Jim Jones in the People's Church? That's like one of the biggest and well-known cults out there. And I started listening to this a lot. And I thought it was crazy because I would fall asleep and the tape would be on repeat. So I would go to sleep and I would be listening to the Jim Jones death tape. And I would have some of the craziest dreams I've ever had in my entire life. Like, I had dreams about Jim Jones. And I had dreams about, like, I don't know. And I almost, like, you know, when I was a kid, they would talk about how if you played, like your record backwards, you could hear stuff or it would summon things. I promise you, I feel like listening to the Jim Jones death tape so many times, it was like evil and not good. And all right, we're gonna go ahead and play it. Let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah, I found it. It's really creepy. It's got like music.
How very much I've loved you. How very much I've tried my best to give you the good life. But in spite of all of that I've tried, a handful of our people with their lives have made our life impossible. There's no way to detach ourselves from what's happened today.
And that...
Not only we're in a compound situation.
That's a really sad
not
thing.
Only
you can
are there
hear the
those who have left
in
and
the
committed
background.
the betrayal of the century. Some have stolen children from others, and they're in pursuit right now to kill them because they stole their children. And we are sitting here waiting on a powder keg. I don't think this is what we want to do with our babies. I don't think that's what we had in mind to do with our babies. It was said by the greatest of prophets from time immemorial, no man takes my life from me, I lay my life down. So to sit here and wait for the catastrophe that's going to happen on that airplane, it's going to be a catastrophe. Almost happened here. Almost happened. The congressman was nearly killed here. But you can't steal people's children. You can't take off with people's children without expecting.
So I'm just going to take a moment. Somebody is on here asking over and over and over if I will show them my feet. We're listening to a death tape. I'm not going to do that. I'm not on here making any kind of like sex work content. So please just, you're not on the right channel. But I do want to take a moment. We're listening to the death tape, and what's something I want to point out is that when he had everyone come and sit around, he actually had the children take the Kool-Aid first, so you're gonna hear them screaming in the background. And I just want to like tell you about this because like it really upset a lot of people when they realized, and I think they did this so they would have the hardest part out of the way. Like once you give your children like poison Kool-Aid, like there's no turning back. And then also something else that I ended up hearing on the tape that I want you to take a moment to like really sit there and listen to is that you're just kidding with me. You said it like 7 times. Okay, so he doesn't really want to see my feet. Okay. But what was I gonna say? You're making me lose focus here. There's like this weird distortion in the background too. Like I really want you to listen for the distortion. They said that your joke was heavy-handed. Yes, it was. It's okay. I forgive you. They said that he would record over old tapes, but you can actually hear this weird organ music and like distorted talking in the background. I'm just going to play it again. Can you guys tell me if you can hear it, okay?
A violent reaction. And that's not so unfamiliar to us either. Even if we were Judeo-Christian, if we weren't communists, the world, the kingdom suffereth violence, and the violence shall take it by force. If we can't live in peace, then let's die in peace. We've been so betrayed. We have been so terribly betrayed. But we tried, and as Jack Beam often said, I don't know where he's at right this moment. Where's Jack? He said, if this only worked one day, it was worthwhile. Because what's going to happen here in a matter of a few minutes is that one of those people on that plane is going to shoot the pilot. I know that. I didn't plan it, but I know it's going to happen. They're going to shoot that pilot, and down comes that plane into the jungle. And we had better not have any of our children left when it's over, because they'll parachute in here on us. I'm telling you just as plain as I know how to tell you. I've never lied to you.
Okay, so, yes, I like Egyptian music, but I am curious. Can anybody, I do see there are 2 people listening in on this, and I would love to know if you can actually hear this really good. I'm going to keep playing it.
I never have lied to you. I know that's what's going to happen. That's what he intends to do, and he will do it. He'll do it. Fortunately, being so bewildered with many pressures on my brain, seeing all these people behave so treasonous, it was just too much for me to put together. But I now know what he was telling me, and it'll happen. If the plane gets in the air, even. So my opinion is that we be kind to children and be kind to seniors and take the portion like they used to take in ancient Greece and step over quietly, because we are not committing suicide. It's a revolutionary act. We can't go back. They won't leave us alone. They're now going back to tell more lies, which means more congressmen, and there's no way we can survive. Anybody wish to? Anyone that has any dissenting opinion, please speak.
Can you hear that distortion?
Yes. You can have an opportunity, but if our children are left, we are going to have them butchered. We can make a strike, but we'll be striking against people that we don't want to strike against. We'd like to get the people who cause this stuff, and if some people here are prepared to know how to do that, to go in town and get Timothy Stone, but there's no plane. There's no plane. You can't catch a plane in time. He's responsible for it. He brought these people to us. He and Deanna Myrtle. But people in San Francisco will not be idle over this. They'll not take our death in vain, you know. Yes, Christine. Is it too late for Russia? Here's why it's too late for Russia. They killed. They started to kill. That's why it makes it too late for Russia.
Okay, at this point, some of his people are trying to convince Jim Jones that, like, they can go to Russia and they will be safe there, because I think Jim Jones lied to his congregation and told them that he had been in contact with Russia, because at that time Russia was communist. And so, like, I thought that for some reason I thought he was socialist, but he's saying right on here that he's into communism. And Jim Jones had been telling his congregation, like, you know, Russia really likes us and they'll take us in, and which is a total lie. Like, can you imagine Jim Jones from Guyana, like, in contact with Russia, like, hey, can we come to Russia because we're communists? Like, I just wonder how many weird people send Russia messages like that. I'm going to continue going. I do see that there's one person on here, so if you could just tell me if you can hear it or not. I don't know if you guys want to hear the entire videotape. It is 44 minutes long, and it is very dark, but I'm going to keep going. I might fast forward to the end, because that's where it gets crazy.
Otherwise, I'd said, Russia, you bet your life. But it's too late. I can't control these people. They're out there. They've gone with their guns, and it's too late. And once we kill anybody, at least that's the way I've always put my lot with you. If one of my people do something, it's me. And they say I don't have to take the blame for this, but I don't live that way. They said deliver up Ujara, who tried to get the man back here. Ujara, whose mother has been lying on him and trying to break up this family, and they've all agreed to kill us by any means necessary. You think I'm going to deliver them, Ujara? Not on your life. No. No, you're not going. You're not going. You're not going. I can't live that way.
Okay, so Ujara is a child that was left with Jim Jones, and the mother of the child was trying to get him back. It's really sad. He ended up passing away in this. But Jim Jones said that he couldn't return Ujara because Ujara was actually his child, which was never proven, but like the mother was fighting about getting him home. If you see pictures of Ujara like before the date this videotape was taken, you can tell like the child is in distress. But anyway, I'm gonna keep going.
I cannot live that way. I've lived for all, and I'll die for all. I've been living on hope for a long time, Christine. I appreciate you've always been a very good agitator. I like agitation because you got to see two sides of one issue, two sides of a question. What those people are going to get done, what they get through, will make our life worse than hell. Will make the Russians not accept us. When they get through lying, they told so many lies between there and that truck that we are done in as far as any other alternative.
Hi, I see 3 more people logged in, and I just want to say we're listening to the Jim Jones death tape. So if you can't hear it, please let me know so I'm not just playing this. I hope you can hear it.
Well, I said let's make an airlift to Russia. That's what I say. I don't think nothing is impossible.
Well, how are we going to believe it? How are you going to airlift to Russia?
Well, I thought they said if we got in an emergency, they gave you a code to let them know.
No, they did. They gave us the code that they'd let us know of an issue, not us create an issue for them. They said if they saw the country coming down, they'd give us the code. They give us a code. You can check on there and see if it's on the code. You can check with Russia to see if they'll take us in immediately, otherwise we die. I don't know what else you say to these people. But to me, death is not a fearful thing. It's living that's treacherous. I have never seen anything like this before in my life. I've never seen people take the law and do in their own hands and provoke us and try to purposely agitate murder of children. There's no, Christine, it's not worth living like this. Not worth living like this.
I think that there were too few who left for 1,200 people to give them their lives for those people that left.
You know how many left?
20 odd. That's a small
20 odd.
Compared to what year?
20 odd. But what's going to happen when they don't leave? I hope that they could leave, but what's going to happen when they don't leave?
You mean the people here?
Yeah, what's going to happen to us when they don't leave, when they get on the plane and the plane goes down?
I don't think it'll go down.
You don't think it'll go down? I wish I could tell you were right, but I'm right. There's one man there who blames, and rightfully so, Debbie Blakey for the murder of his mother. And he'll stop that pilot by any means necessary.
Okay, so right now we're listening to this elderly woman, and she's basically telling Jim Jones, like, I do not want to die. And he's telling her, he's such a manipulative person. He's telling her that there's a guy there that's very mad because of the murder of his mother, which makes no sense, and that he's gonna shoot them down. Now, Jim Jones sent that man there, so I don't even know what he's talking about. He's just, and then the other thing to you want to listen to is he's like on so many drugs right now. He's on like uppers and downers, and like 1970s were a different time, and it's Guyana, so they could get different things. And he had a couple different nurses working for him, so I guess they could get prescriptions. But anyway, let's keep listening. If you can't hear it, please let me know.
He'll do it. That plane will come out of the air. There's no way you fly a plane without a pilot.
I wasn't speaking about that plane. I was speaking about the plane for us to go to Russia.
How, to Russia. Do you think Russia's going to want? No, not going to. We're not. You think Russia's going to want us with all this stigma? We had some value, but now we don't have any value.
Well, I don't see it like that. I mean, I feel like that as long as there's life, there's hope. That's my faith.
Well, everybody dies. Someplace that hope runs out because everybody dies. I haven't seen anybody yet that didn't die. And I like to choose my own kind of death for a change. I'm tired of being tormented to hell. That's what I'm tired of. Tired of it. 1,200 people's lives in my hands, and I certainly don't want your life.
So that's like part of the distortion, okay? And then the thing is that I know that these were made on tapes, like old cassette tapes. So after a while, like the old cassette tapes will like stretch and make weird stuff, but like you can hear so many things. Like, I don't know. No one's really talking to me right now, but if you can hear something weird on it, please tell me.
In my hand. But I'm going to tell you, Christine, without me, life has no meaning. I'm the best friend you'll ever have. Once I have to pay, I'm standing with you, Jara. I'm standing with those people. They're part of me. I can detach myself. My attorney says detach myself. No. I never detached myself from any of your troubles. I've always taken your troubles right on my shoulders. And I'm not going to change that now. It's too late. I've been running too long. I'm not going to change now. Maybe the next time you get to go to Russia, the next time around. What I'm talking about now is in the dispensation of judgment. This is a revolutionary suicide council. I'm not talking about self-destruction. I'm talking about what we have no other road. I will take your call. We will put it to the Russians, and I can tell you the answer now because I'm a prophet. Call the Russians and tell them to see if they'll take us.
I said I'm afraid to die.
I don't think you are.
Means.
I don't think you are.
But I look at our babies and I think they deserve to live.
I agree.
You know?
But also they deserve, what's more, they deserve peace.
We all came here for peace.
And have we had it?
No.
I tried to give it to you. I've laid down my life practically. I've practically died every day to give you peace. And you've still not had any peace. You look better than I've seen you in a long while, but it's still not the kind of peace that I wanted to give you. Plus, it's the fool that continues to say that you're a winner when you're losing. Win one, lose two. What? I didn't hear you, ma'am. You have to speak up. That's a sweet thought. Who said that? Come on up and speak it again, honey. Come up and say it talk about. It's taken off. No plane is taken off. It's suicide. They have done it.
Do you guys hear the creepy music in the background? Like, there was no music playing when he made this tape, just so you know. They said that it was taped over another tape, but just listen for the creepy music. Can you guys, like, if you can't hear it, please tell me. I know that there are some people watching now, but like,
Stone has done it. Somebody ought to. Somebody. Can they not talk to San Francisco? See, the Stone does not get by with this infamy. This infamy. He has done the thing he wanted to do. Tablets destroyed.
When we destroy ourselves, we're defeated. We let them, the enemy, defeat us.
Did you see I live to fight no more forever?
Yes, I saw that.
Did you not have some sense of pride and victory in that man? He would not subject himself to the will and whim of people who tell that they're going to come in whenever they please and push into our house, come when they please, take who they want to, talk to who they want to. Is that living? That's not living to me. That's not freedom. That's not the kind of freedom I sought.
But I think where they made their mistake is when they stopped to rest. If they had gone on, they would have made it. But they stopped to rest.
It's over, sister. It's over. We made that day. We made a beautiful day. And let's make it a beautiful day. That's what
We win when we go down. Tombstone has nobody else to hate.
Okay, so I'm gonna fast forward to the part where he starts doling out the Kool-Aid. Because
They invaded our privacy. They came into our home. They followed us 6,000 miles away.
And the kind of therapy that I did had to do with reincarnation.
And we're living as people. I think we should be happy about this. I was just thinking about Jim Jones. He just has suffered and suffered and suffered. He is the only God, and he don't even have a chance to enjoy himself here. And I wanted to say one more thing. This is one thing I want to say. That few that's gone is many more here. He's still, that's not all of us. That's not all yet. That's just a few that has got a chance to get to the one that they could tell their story to, their lives to. So I'm looking at so many people crying. I wish you would not cry and just think.
so different people from the congregation are coming up and they're telling everybody else in the congregation why this is such a great thing. Like, everybody you hear right now did not live the next day. And the fact that, like, she's giving away that the entire congregation is not happy. Like, some people are crying. And she's like, you shouldn't be crying. Like, it's sad.
Just thinking. I've been here about... I've been here 1 year and 9 months. And I never felt better in my life.
Right.
Taking us through all these anguish years. They took us and put us in chains, and that's nothing. There's no comparison to this. They robbed us of our land, and they've taken us and driven us till we tried to find ourselves. We tried to find a new beginning, but it's too late. You can't separate yourself from your brother and your sister. No way I'm going to do it. I refuse. I don't know who fired the shot. I don't know who killed the congressman. But as far as I'm concerned, I killed him. You understand what I'm saying? I killed him.
He totally killed him. But we have 10 minutes left of this before it's over with.
He had no business coming. I told him not to come.
Again, the distortion. At this point in the tape, they're actually doling out the Kool-Aid with the cyanide, and I do believe it had a sedative in it as well. I don't remember what the sedative was, but you can hear the children crying because, like I said, they were the first ones to go. I honestly believe that we're listening to pure evil.
Die with respect. Die with a degree of dignity. Lay down your life with dignity. Don't lay down with tears and agony. There's nothing to death. It's like Max said. It's just stepping over into another plane. Don't be this way. Stop this hysterics. This is not the way for people who are socialist, communists to die. No way for us to die. We must die with some dignity. Soon we'll have no choice. Now we have some choice. You think they're going to allow this to be done and allow us to get by with this? Must be insane. For children, it's just something to put you to rest. Oh, God. Mother, please. Mother, please, don't do this, Lay down your life with your child, but don't do this. Free at last. See, keep your emotions down, Children, it will not hurt if you'll be quiet. It's never been done before, you say. It's been done by every tribe in history. Every tribe facing annihilation. All the Indians of the Amazon are doing it right now. They refuse to bring any babies into the world. They kill every child that comes into the world because they don't want to live in this kind of a world. So be patient. Death is... I tell you, I don't care how many screams you hear. I don't care how many anguished cries. Death is 1,000,000 times preferable to 10 more days of this life. If you knew what was ahead of you, you'd be glad to be stepping over tonight. Death is common to people. And the Eskimos, they take death in their stride. Let's be dignified. If you quit telling them they're dying, if you adults would stop some of this nonsense, adults, I call on you to stop this nonsense. I call on you to quit exciting your children when all they're doing is going to quiet rest. I call on you to stop this now. If you have any respect at all, are we black, proud, and socialist, or what are we? Now stop this nonsense. Don't carry this on anymore. You're exciting your children. All over, and it's good. No sorrow that it's all over. I'm glad it's over. Hurry, my children, hurry. All I say, does not fall into the hands of the enemy. Hurry, my...
So this is like a really heavy tape. I didn't know I was going to let you listen to it as much as I am, but like there's 5 minutes more. I think that we should just get through the end because the end is like the most important part.
Children, hurry. The seniors out here that I'm concerned about, hurry. I don't want to leave my seniors to this mess. Quickly. Sisters, good knowing you. No more pain, Al. No more pain, I said, Al. No more pain. Jim Cobb is laying on the airfield dead at this moment. Remember, the Oliver woman said she'd come over and kill me if her sons wouldn't stop her. These are the people, the peddlers of hate. All we're doing is laying down our life. We're not letting them take our life. We're laying down our life. We're taking their lives. We just want peace.
All I'd like to say is that my so-called parents is filled with so much hate.
Stop this, friend. Stop this crime.
and treachery. I think you people out here should think about how your relatives was and be glad about that the children are being laid to rest. And all I like to say is I thank Dad for making me strong to stand with it all and make me ready for it. Thank you.
Talking to them, all they're doing is taking a drink to go to sleep. That's what death is, sleep. Whatever, I'm tired of it all.
Loving thing he could have ever done, the most loving thing all of us could have done. And it's been a pleasure walking with all of you in this revolutionary struggle. No other way I would rather go than give my life for socialism, communism. And I thank Dad very, very much.
That Dad's love and mercy and goodness and kindness and bringing us to this land of freedom. His love, his mother was the advance guard to socialism. And his love and his mercy should go on forever, on for the fields.
Where's the vat? Where's the vat with the green seas?
Love should go on forever to the time. And thank you, Dad.
The vat with the green sea in, please. Right here, so the adults can begin.
So all the children have drinking the Kool-Aid or the Flavor Aid, and now they're moving on to the adults.
Don't fail to follow my advice. You'll be sorry. You'll be sorry. That we do it than that they do it. Just trust you. You have to step across. We used to sing this world's not our home. Well, it sure isn't. As we were saying, it sure wasn't. He doesn't want to tell him. All he's doing, if they will tell him, assure these children. Some people assure these children of the relaxation of stepping over to the next plane. We've set an example for others. We've set 1,000 people who say we don't like the way the world is. You stop. Take our life from us. We laid it down. We got tired. We didn't commit suicide. We committed an act of revolutionary suicide protesting the conditions of an inhumane world.
This is the part that gets really creepy. Like, really creepy. Just listen. Okay, so that's it. It is something to note that he made his congregation drink Flavor Aid, and then he ended up not drinking it himself and had one of his people go ahead and just like shoot him in the head because he was, I think, not brave enough to drink the Flavor Aid. But I actually didn't know that I was going to play that video for you, the tape for you. It's really heavy. It's really scary. And it just like set a tone. Like I noticed a lot of people didn't stay on, and I totally get it. I almost wonder if I should have even played that. I don't know if I'm going to keep this video. It's a really disturbing tape. Um, but yeah, I guess the reason that I wanted to talk to everybody about it tonight is because, like, do you believe that there are like evil tapes out there, or evil videos, or evil music out there? And like, do they have the power to do things? Because I know that when I kept listening to this, and I kept doing it because I kept hearing things in it, I started to feel like, I guess, like, oh, like dread, and I had horrible nightmares, and at one time I even dreamt of Jim Jones, and it was intense, you know. And I just thought that, like, I wanted to know if anybody else has heard of the Jim Jones death tape, if anybody's ever like had an experience like that. Have you guys listened? Should I not have a live stream on a Saturday because you guys are doing your thing? Oh, is it Friday? It's Friday. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's the Jim Jones death tape. Um, Maybe I'll cover the entire thing, like the entire case one day. I don't know. I feel like I'm intrigued by cults. Hello, whoever just clicked on. I like to study cults. I think that, you know, the Jonestown, Heaven's Gate, and Waco are like the three big ones that I kind of gravitate towards studying. But Jonestown, I just feel like whenever I feel like I've found out everything I could possibly find out about Jonestown, I find out more. And I'm so sad because, like, during the Jonestown death tape, like, I know that I just went through the whole thing, like, you can hear the children crying, and the guy is like telling them to stop crying. And I just can't even imagine, you know, like, how that must have been. Especially because afterwards, when the newscast came to check on everybody at Jonestown, they were like flying overhead. I think it was a father who wanted to go check on his daughter that had been in Jonestown, and he was actually in the helicopter. So they took the helicopter and they flew over the encampment, and all you could see, like, you can Google it, Jonestown the day after. All you can see are these bodies. There's like bodies after bodies after bodies. And then, like, you know, I wanted to know like what the biggest mass cult slide is, and the only one that would compare is there was one in Africa, and I don't even think you can consider it a slide because I think that the people running the congregation took all of the members and put them in a building and burned down the building. And part of me like really thinks that like Jonestown was not a mass suicide because in at the place there was hypodermic needles filled with the flavor aid arsenic sedative. Why would they need to have, you know, hypodermic needles? And they were in the back. So like I feel like some people like chickened out or were like, no, I don't want to do this, and they just did it anyway. Like, you can't tell me that 900 and some people decided that day that they all wanted to go. Like, I guess that's why I'm always stuck on Jonestown. And I also believe that when something so evil happens, it leaves a mark upon the earth. So, like, not only am I, like, a little bit obsessed about the death tape, which I wanted to make a video about, But I've also watched videos of people going back to where Jonestown was in Guyana, and like they burned the whole thing down because the people of Guyana thought that the land was cursed, which speaks to itself, right? Like, I'm not the only one that thinks that if an awful place happens somewhere that it's marked. But they let all the like the grass grew back, right? So people walk through there and there's like a small memorial, but you walk through this like field that used to be Jonestown, and you'll find like a tractor or a plow or something, and it's so creepy. It's so creepy. I just can't even imagine what it would be like to be standing in the exact place where Jonestown was. Like, there's this big sign, and it used to say the People's Temple, and the people of Guyana have kept the sign up. And it's like when you go to where Jonestown was, there's like this it was like a trail, like a road. It was like a dirt road. So there's this huge sign, and then there's this 2 mile long dirt road, and it's still there. It's still intact. And it's just crazy because I've seen so much footage of like the People's Temple and like the Jonestown people, because Jim Jones was like really into videotaping everything. And like, I just think that's like part of his narcissism, that he wanted everyone to see like, this is mine, these are my people, this is what I'm responsible for. And I guess like the saddest part of the whole thing is that in theory communism or socialism would be good because it would be like a village, right? But like there's always this one person that's like the leader of the group, and he ends up being evil and doing horrible things, and that's why it will never work. It will never work because you can never give power to men without them misusing it. And when I say men, man or woman. Human. You cannot give power to humans because they'll misuse it. They always will. Well, I think that I have rambled on enough about Jonestown. If you took your time to watch this video and get all the way to the end, I really appreciate it. I think that I am going to do a video tomorrow on the Skeleton Boys. And if you've never heard of the Skeleton Boys, it's a case here in Michigan about 3 boys that went missing. I do believe they're deceased. I am in Michigan, so I like to cover things that are in Michigan as well. And I think it's a really interesting case. It actually just had its like, I think 9-year anniversary recently. But yeah, if you guys think that there's a specific day that I should live stream that you would be able to tune in, or a time, please chime in and tell me. Don't be shy. Subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. That really helps my algorithm. I know sometimes you guys don't like to do that because I don't know. I don't like to do that too. Some YouTubers. I don't know why. It's just like a thing. I've experienced the thing as well. Okay, so have a beautiful Friday night. Thank you for watching. Yeah. Anyway, stay safe and stay spooky. Thank you. Bye.